Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, my first video, we are going to focus on the victims of the El Paso shooting, and the second video I plan on putting out today is the victims of the Dayton, Ohio shooting. I think that we focus entirely too much on the victims we focused entirely too much on the shooter than the victim, and I think that needs to stop, and this is my attempt to remember the victims and say screw the shooter. So I'm going to start. I cannot read off all of the names. I will post links down below where you can look at the victims for yourself, but because that would be a 20-minute long video, and I'm just not that good of a reader, so I'm just going to try and go through some of them here, and we'll see where we get with it, and we'll go from there. But I urge you to read about them. Their stories of heroism and everything else that go through are wonderful, and these people should be remembered as heroes and as the victims, and we should totally forget about the El Paso shooter himself. So the first one I'm going to read is the youngest victim. He was 15. His name was Javier Rodriguez. He was the youngest victim of the attack. He was shot in the foot. And he says, "I am grateful to be alive. He had the chance to kill me, but he didn't because God was with me." The initial death toll was previously reported at 20, but the El Paso Police Department announced an additional person died at the hospital on Monday. We know now that it's 22 people. So we have a 15-year-old who luckily only got shot in the foot, but I mean, that's still traumatic. I mean, this 15-year-old is going to carry this around with him for the rest of his life, because what he saw had to be PTSD inducing, had to be stressful. We're talking about a man who targeted the Latinx community for no other reason than he thought, because of some stupid rhetoric repeated by the president and Fox News and all these other ridiculous places, that the Latinx community is coming in to replace you, to replace your vote, or whatever. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm not going to focus too much on that, and we are going to jump into the next person. This one really gets to me. This is Jordan. She was a 25-year-old mother of 3. She was killed trying to shield her 2-month-old son, and yes, that is a 2-month-old son that took a picture with Donald Trump, and I'll do a video on that in a little bit. From the baby's injuries, they say that it was more than likely that my sister was trying to shield him. I cannot pronounce her last name, so what is her first name? Letta. Her sister's name is Letta. My sister was trying to, so when she got shot, she was holding him, she fell on him, so that's why he broke some of his bones. She was so pretty and much lived because she gave her life. And then there was her husband, Andre. He was a 23-year-old, was the husband of Jordan and the father of their 2-month-old son, according to the Associated Press. A friend said that he had recently started a business in El Paso and had built things from granite and stone. After turning his life around from a drug dependence and run-ins with the police, he had the character and the charisma of, I cannot pronounce that. But yeah, I want to talk about them specifically because that's 3 kids that don't get to know their parents. That's a 2-month-old whose parents died to protect him. Do you know the amount of guilt that child is going to have when he grows up, knowing that his parents died in order to save him? There's a 5-year-old daughter who went to cheer practice and lost her mother. Will never see her mother again because some dickhole decided it would be a good idea to go into a Walmart and shoot the Latinx community. Ugh, I don't know. It's disgusting. He's disgusting. Let's go back to focusing on some of the victims before I lose my mind. So we have Arturo. He was a 68-year-old bus driver and Army veteran who loved to tell stories about his time in the Army. According to both his wife and his niece, he would give you the shirt off his back and would never harm a soul. Just an all-around good guy who was loved by his family. It's pointless. This is all pointless. It's pointless. Alright, let's jump on to the next person. Mario Alba, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hopefully I am. If I'm not, please correct me in the comments. Like I said, I'm not very good at pronouncing Spanish names, and that's on me. But was reported to be in serious condition after being shot in the back. His Facebook page is full of pictures of him with his 10-year-old daughter, Erica, the AP reported. In one photo, he's wearing a Patriots vest in the front seat of the car while Erica is sitting in the back. In another, they are standing in front of what appears to be a Christmas tree. In a third, Erica is making a heart symbol with her hands while wearing a pink sweater. His sister described him as an excellent father and a decent, hardworking person, according to the Associated Press. This is a father who loves his daughter, and apparently has his Facebook filled with the same things that the rest of us have our Facebook filled with. Does it seem like someone who's trying to replace you, or is just living a daily life with his kid? I'm glad that he has survived. I'm glad that his 10-year-old daughter gets to see him in the hospital. I'm unhappy that he is shot, but at least his daughter isn't without a father tonight. At least that. Jessica Coco Garcia and Mimo Garcia. Mimo told KWCH, a TV station in Wichita, Kansas, that her daughter and son-in-law were near the entrance of the Walmart Sunday morning when they were shot and injured. According to the Associated Press, they were at Walmart raising funds for a youth sports team in which one of their children plays. Coco said her daughter, Jessica Coco Garcia, was in stable condition after being shot 3 times. 3 times! And Mimo is in critical condition after being shot twice in the leg and once in the back. Jessica and Mimo's 5-year-old son and 11-year-old daughter were also at the Walmart but were not shot. The Associated Press, according to the Associated Press. Well, thank goodness for little miracles, I guess, but they were shot in front of their kids. Can you imagine how terrified their kids must be? And how that's going to be with them for the rest of their life. This is something that we need to stop in this country. That is... Alright. This one's going to be heartbreaking. Angie, 86, was in the checkout line at the time of the shooting and had just hung up a phone call with her son. She was 86. This is a mother and most likely a grandmother. Yep. Angie's granddaughter, Maya Peak, told the Times that she had 7 children and a son who died as an infant. She loved watching General Hospital and was a very strong person, very blunt. Yeah, I can imagine her being very blunt. That makes me smile because that makes me think of my own family, and I couldn't imagine. Yeah. Okay, we have Javier Amir Rodriguez, a 15-year-old that was getting ready to start his sophomore year of high school. He attended Horizon High School in El Paso, according to the Associated Press. This was a 15-year-old child murdered because some idiot decided that it would be a good idea to go after the Latinx community. I'm going to keep saying it because this is completely preventable, people. Completely preventable. Ivan Manzino from Mexico. I cannot pronounce what city he is from. I will link it down below. Ran an orthopedic implants business. He had a 5-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. His wife, Andrea, said that he was a friendly and calm. According to the Associated Press, she told their children that he had died in an accident, choosing not to give them the full story. Can you imagine having to be a mother that has to tell your child that their parents or their father is dead and not wanting to ruin their childhood by telling them that a racist piece of crap shot him? I'm only going to go through a couple more because I'm about to burst into tears because it's just, I really want to drive home how bad this is. Alright, David Johnson, 63, was shopping with his wife and 9-year-old granddaughter for back-to-school stuff. Woo! Told you I'm going to start crying. When the shooting happened, says the Associated Press, Johnson's nephew, Dominic Patridge, called his uncle the kindest, most giving individual I've ever known. Maria Flores, 77, was a U.S. citizen. Looks like her husband died with her. At least say... Raul Flores, 77, was a U.S. citizen. Jordan Calvo Garcia, a 61-year-old, was a Mexican national. Alexander Hoffman was a 66-year-old German citizen. And this is why the people are telling them not to come to our country, because they're going to... you worry about getting shot. I mean, come to America, worry about our gun violence. Lewis was a 90-year-old U.S. citizen and was the oldest victim in the shooting. Once again, kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, an entire group of family now mourns the loss of someone who could have had another good 10, 15 years left in his life because you decided to freaking via douche nozzle. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna stop because if I don't, I'm gonna burst into freaking tears. And it's already 10 minutes long. That video is just some of the victims. I'm gonna link the rest of it down below. You can see for yourself. Once again, can we please focus more on their lives and them than we do on this horrible, disgusting douche nozzle of a shooter who we all just cannot stand and hope goes to a corner and never sees the light of day again. I'm really not the biggest fan of the death penalty, but this is why I don't argue with the death penalty, because people like this deserve what they get. I'm hoping that we can get a couple years of study out of him before the state of Texas fries his little stinky butt, but we will see. I'm going to take a break for a minute to get something to drink that's behind me, and I'll see you later for the Dayton, Ohio shooting, and let's see if I can keep it together for that one, and I will see you later.